Have you ever looked in the mirror and felt that despite maintaining your habits, something is different? Perhaps it's the difficulty in opening a jar that was once easy, or the feeling that climbing a flight of stairs requires greater effort. This loss of strength and vitality, which many of us begin to notice from the age of 50, has a name and, more importantly, a solution that doesn't depend exclusively on expensive and industrialized supplements. Many seek the answer in tubs of protein powder, but nature offers us an incredibly powerful and often underestimated tool. The promise that a natural food can help halt muscle loss might sound bold, but the science behind it is solid and fascinating. If you've ever wondered why your body seems unresponsive as it used to, or if you're looking for an effective and natural way to protect your musculature, your strength, and your independence for years to come, this video is for you. Stay with me as we unveil not only what this food is but also the exact mechanism by which it works in your body. And if you're new here and interested in aging with health and vigor, consider subscribing to our channel so you don't miss any science-based tips. What happens in our bodies that makes maintaining muscle mass such a challenging battle after a certain age? The answer lies in a subtle but relentless biological process that begins silently decades earlier. This silent process I mentioned is known in medicine as sarcopenia, which literally means lack of flesh. It is the progressive and generalized loss of skeletal muscle mass and strength that occurs with aging. But it's not just about aesthetics. Sarcopenia is directly linked to an increased risk of falls, fractures, frailty, and loss of independence. The big mistake is accepting this as an inevitable sentence. To understand how to combat this process, we first need to understand its origin. In our bodies, there's a constant balance between two processes: muscle protein synthesis, which is the building of new muscle tissue, and muscle protein breakdown, which is the destruction of existing tissue. In youth, synthesis surpasses breakdown, especially in response to exercise and nutrition, leading to muscle growth and maintenance. However, as we age, a phenomenon called anabolic resistance sets in. This means our muscles become less sensitive to the stimuli that would normally trigger muscle building. The same amount of protein that was sufficient at 30 to generate a strong synthesis response may no longer be as effective at 60. It's as if the switch for muscle building becomes harder to flip. This happens due to a combination of factors, including hormonal changes, increased low-grade inflammation, and, crucially, a diminished response to dietary amino acids. Therefore, the solution isn't just to eat more protein randomly, it's about providing the right dose of the right type of protein, which contains the specific code to reactivate this lazy switch. What, then, would be the exact component, the key molecule that can overcome this resistance and tell our muscles, it's time to build again? The key molecule, the true trigger for muscle protein synthesis, is a specific amino acid called leucine. Among the 20 amino acids that make up proteins, leucine belongs to a special group known as branched-chain amino acids, or BCAAs. But even among BCAAs, leucine is the queen. Think of it as the key that turns on a factory's ignition. The factory is your muscle cell, and the production is the creation of new muscle fibers. Without the leucine key, or with a low-quality key, the factory's engine simply won't start at full power, no matter how much other raw material, other amino acids, is available. Scientifically, leucine activates a cell signaling pathway called mTOR, which is the primary regulator of protein synthesis in the body. In a younger organism, a moderate amount of leucine is sufficient to kickstart the mTOR pathway. However, due to the anabolic resistance we've discussed, the muscles of a person over 50 require a higher leucine threshold. A more concentrated dose of this amino acid in a single meal is needed to overcome resistance and robustly trigger the muscle-building machinery. This is why simply spreading small amounts of protein throughout the day may not be the most effective strategy for this audience. It's necessary to focus on meals that reach this critical leucine threshold. Many protein powders are formulated with this in mind, enriched with leucine. But the question that brought us here is there a natural, whole food source that not only reaches this threshold but does so in a unique and beneficial way for the body, offering advantages that industrialized powders cannot replicate? The answer to this search for a natural and potent source of leucine leads us to a simple, accessible, and incredibly effective food: cottage cheese. Yes, that white, granular cheese, often overlooked on supermarket shelves, is a true nutritional titan in the fight against muscle loss. The phrase, "forget protein powder," this natural food stops muscle loss instantly, finds its foundation here. Let's analyze why. A single cup of cottage cheese can provide between 25 to 28 grams of very high-quality protein. More importantly, this portion contains about 3 grams of leucine, the amount many studies point to as the ideal threshold for maximizing muscle protein synthesis in older adults. But the magic of cottage cheese doesn't stop at leucine. About 80% of the protein in it is casein. Unlike whey protein, found in most powders and which is quickly digested, casein is a slow-digesting protein. This means that by consuming cottage cheese, you don't just get the initial start of leucine for muscle building, you also provide your body with a slow, steady drip of amino acids for several hours. This prolonged release effect is crucial, as it acts anti-catabolically, meaning it helps prevent muscle tissue breakdown between meals or during sleep. It's a double-action strategy, a strong stimulus to build and a sustained support to prevent breakdown. This combination is what makes it such a superior and complete tool for those seeking to preserve musculature naturally. But it's one thing to understand the theory and nutritional composition. Quite another is to see what rigorous scientific studies say about the practical effects of consuming this type of protein, especially at a strategic time of day. Science unequivocally corroborates the power of slow-digesting protein, like the casein in cottage cheese. Numerous studies, many conducted in renowned research centers in Europe, have investigated the impact of pre-sleep protein intake on muscle health. A study published in the Journal of Nutrition demonstrated that consuming casein before sleep was effectively digested and absorbed overnight, resulting in a significant increase in overnight muscle protein synthesis rates. This means that while you sleep, your body is actively repairing and building muscle, rather than entering a catabolic state of breakdown. Another study, this time focused on long-term resistance training, found that the group consuming protein before sleep achieved significantly greater gains in muscle mass and strength compared to the placebo group. Now, let's address the word "instantly" from our topic. It's crucial to understand this from the correct scientific perspective. Obviously, you won't consume cottage cheese today and wake up with visibly larger muscles tomorrow. The term "instantly" refers to the biochemical response. The moment amino acids, especially leucine, reach your muscle, the breakdown process is slowed, and the signal for synthesis is turned on. Halting loss refers to this immediate shift in muscle protein balance, moving from a state of net loss to a state of net gain. It's the beginning of the reversal process. Consistency in this practice is what transforms this instant response into visible and lasting results. If this explanation is making the process clearer for you, show your support with a like on this video. It helps us continue bringing science-based content in an accessible way. With the science understood, the next logical question is, how can we incorporate this powerful strategy into our daily routine in a practical, tasty, and effective way? Practical implementation is simpler than it seems. The goal is to transform knowledge into a sustainable habit. The general recommendation from studies to maximize overnight muscle protein synthesis is to consume between 20 to 40 grams of high-quality protein before bed. A serving of 1 to 1.5 cups of cottage cheese, depending on the brand and fat content, fits perfectly within this window. Ideally, consume it about 30 to 60 minutes before lying down. This allows for the initial stages of digestion without causing discomfort. But let's be honest, eating plain cottage cheese every night can become monotonous. The key to consistency is variety. You can transform it into a healthy and delicious dessert. Mix it with a handful of berries, which are rich in antioxidants and low in glycemic index. Add some walnuts or almonds for a dose of healthy fats and crunch. A drizzle of honey or a bit of cinnamon can also enhance the flavor. For those who prefer something savory, cottage cheese can be seasoned with fresh herbs like chives and parsley, black pepper, and a drizzle of olive oil, served with some celery or cucumber sticks. You can even blend it in a blender with a little water or milk to create a creamy base for a smoothie. The important thing is to find the combination that appeals to your taste buds. Remember also to choose low-sodium versions whenever possible, reading labels carefully. Adopting this nightly habit is a giant step, but it's essential to understand that this food, as powerful as it is, doesn't work alone. It's a central piece of a larger mechanism, and its true potential is unleashed when combined with another indispensable element for muscle health. This indispensable element, the synergistic partner to cottage cheese, is resistance exercise, popularly known as weightlifting. If protein, and especially leucine, are the building blocks for muscle, resistance exercise is the foreman's signal ordering the construction. You can deliver a truckload of the best bricks to a construction site, but if there's no blueprint and no workers to assemble them, they'll just be piled up purposelessly. Similarly, you can consume the perfect protein, but without the stimulus of exercise, your muscles won't receive the clear message that they need to grow and strengthen. Resistance exercise, which can include using weights, resistance bands, or even your own body weight in exercises like squats and push-ups, creates microtears in muscle fibers. It's the repair process of these microtears that makes muscles stronger and larger, and it's precisely in this repair process that the protein you consume is utilized. The combination of resistance exercise followed by adequate intake of leucine-rich protein creates the perfect anabolic environment. Exercise sensitizes muscles to absorb amino acids, and protein provides the necessary building blocks. Furthermore, other lifestyle factors amplify these results. Adequate hydration is crucial for muscle function. Quality sleep is when most muscle repair and growth occur. And vitamin D, often called the sunshine vitamin, plays a vital role in muscle function and strength, with its deficiency being common in older individuals. Therefore, view cottage cheese not as a magic pill, but as premium fuel for the engine you activate with exercise. That said, even the best strategy needs to be approached with awareness, and it's our ethical duty to discuss potential limitations and precautions. It is of utmost importance to approach this strategy with a balanced perspective. While cottage cheese is a safe and healthy food for the vast majority of people, there are a few considerations. The first is for individuals with lactose intolerance. The good news is that many brands already offer lactose-free versions that maintain the same protein profile. The second consideration is for individuals with pre-existing kidney conditions. Very high-protein diets can put more strain on the kidneys, so anyone with a history of kidney disease must consult their doctor or nephrologist before significantly increasing protein intake. Another point to note is the sodium content, which can vary significantly between brands. Excessive sodium intake is associated with high blood pressure, so the recommendation is always to check the label and opt for brands with lower sodium content or no salt-added versions. Furthermore, it is crucial to emphasize that sarcopenia is a multifactorial process. This nutritional strategy is a powerful tool, but not a cure. Genetic factors, hormonal influences, and overall lifestyle play a role. Results can vary from person to person, and consistency is far more important than perfection. Finally, and this is the most important disclaimer of all, the information shared here is for educational purposes and does not, in any way, substitute the advice of a qualified healthcare professional. Before making any significant changes to your diet or exercise routine, especially if you have any health conditions, talk to your doctor or a nutritionist. They can offer personalized and safe guidance for your individual needs. Now that we've covered the science, the practical application, and the precautions, let's consolidate everything we've learned so you can leave here with a clear and empowered action plan. We've reached the end of our journey today, and what we've discovered is truly transformative. We've seen that age-related muscle loss, sarcopenia, is not a sentence but a challenge we can tackle with the right tools. We've understood that the central problem is anabolic resistance, and the key to overcoming it is a powerful amino acid called leucine. We've revealed that cottage cheese is an exceptional natural source, not only of leucine but also of casein, a slow-releasing protein that protects our muscles while we sleep. Science confirms that this strategy, especially when combined with resistance exercise, can effectively shift our body's balance, favoring building over muscle breakdown. We've demystified the idea of a magic bullet, focusing on the instant biochemical response that, with consistency, translates into long-term strength and vitality. Aging is a privilege, and aging with strength, independence, and the ability to enjoy life to the fullest is an achievable goal. Tools like the knowledge we've shared today give us back control over our health. Now, we want to hear from you. Did you already know about the benefits of cottage cheese for muscle health? Are you thinking of incorporating this tip into your routine? Share your experiences and questions in the comments below. Your participation enriches our community and helps us all learn together. If you found this content valuable, please subscribe to the channel and activate notifications so you don't miss our upcoming videos, where we'll continue to explore science-based strategies for a long and healthy life. Take care, stay strong, and see you next time.